as we mentioned in the section when we were building that CLI application, Node actually includes a standalone module called REPL that makes building command line apps very, very easy. We chose not to use it in that section because I wanted to show how readline and console logging could be used instead, but in this lecture we'll go over REPL and you'll see how easy it is to implement a CLI. So I'm going to create a new file, touch miscellaneous /REPL, REPL.js. Inside this file I'm going to say that this is a example REPL server. Take in the word fizz and log out buzz. We're just going to have one dependency, REPL equals require REPL. To remind you, REPL equals read eval print loop. The REPL in Node is what you get when you start up Node with just the node command. So we are in the Node REPL right now, and we can say things like var foo equals 1, foo times 2, and we'll see 2. That's built into Node, and this REPL module exposes all the low-level APIs that allow you to build your own REPL instead. So we are first going to have to start the REPL, and we'll do that by calling REPL.start. With the start command, we're actually going to pass it an object, and this object is going to be fairly complex and is going to contain everything that we need to configure the application. We're going to say that the prompt is going to equal, in our case, a greater than sign. Just like the readline module, you can configure whatever prompt symbol you want. We're going to say that eval, and then this is the evaluation function for incoming inputs. So any input that comes in is automatically going to get passed to this eval function. It's going to equal an anonymous function that takes in the string. We're just going to note that this is evaluation function. And then with that string, it can do whatever we want. For our case, we just want to log out that we are at the evaluation stage and that we received string. Next, if the user said fizz, say buzz back to them. And that's as simple as checking if the string includes fizz. So if the index of fizz is greater than -1, we're gonna log out buzz. So I'm just going to start up this REPL now, node miscellaneous REPL.js. You can see we're brought to a command prompt. If I write in a bunch of random strings, we get to the evaluation stage and we see that, but nothing else happens. Now I can write something else. I can write fizz, and we can see it got to the evaluation stage. It knew we wrote fizz, and then it wrote the word buzz back to me because this logic got called. As you can see, a whole bunch of the scaffolding that we had to write when we were using the readline function doesn't need to be included if you're using REPL instead. Telling it to prompt again after it has evaluated the strings doesn't need to happen. Creating your own wiring to pass the incoming lines to an evaluation function doesn't need to happen. You can define your evaluation function right here. This is just in many ways easier to use, and there are a whole bunch of other built-in parts to REPL that makes building a command line application even easier. So with that, we can kill this app and move on to the next lecture.